Okay, great. I see you guys. Thank you. Sorry. Nadeem, Alex, and Abby. Nadeem, Alex, and Abby. Okay, perfect. And then the next three is Derrickson, Junlan, and Eileen. Derrickson, Junlan, and Eileen. Okay. Just a few more names. Jennifer, Matt, and Andy. Jennifer, Matt, and Andy. Okay, Jennifer, Matt, Andy. Okay. And the last four, Sam, Zoe, Christian, and Daniela. I see you, Daniela. Thank you. Sam, yes. And Zoe. Okay, Zoe's not here. Let me make that. And Christian. Okay, Christian's not here. Okay, thank you, you guys. So how are you guys doing today? Here, like you're okay? I mean, you're good? Here, or not so good? Okay. Oh, you guys should be, thank you, you guys. The weekend is here, so today's Friday, but we do have to get through social studies with a new lesson. We're actually going to be talking about geography. What I'm going to do is have you guys, I'm going to give you guys several breaks in between. But please make sure you have your social studies notebook with you, because we are going to take some notes on the notebooks. So if you need to go grab your notebook, go ahead and do that. So I have mine right here. And we're going to be actually doing this together. So make sure you have your social studies notebook, blank page. And the title should be, what is geography? We're going to put today's date. Today is the 18th of September. So this is what it should look like. And what I'm going to do is, once we're done with all the notes that we need to take for this lesson, what I'm going to have you guys do is you are going to go to period 2 in Seesaw, and you're going to take a snapshot of your notebook of the notes that we have taken. We're going to take it together, okay? So maybe we'll still need a few minutes to get their notebooks together. Just raise your hand if you need a minute to go get. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, I don't have the piece of equipment that allows me to connect my doc cam to Zoom where you guys can see it. I'm still waiting for that piece from the tech department. So for the time being, I am going to show you my notebook like this, the best I can. And once I get that little device that I can use my doc cam for you guys to see, then you guys will be able to see what I'm writing up through the doc cam. Okay, but for now, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, we just gotta make it work. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. I'm gonna go over the learning targets for our lesson. So if you have any questions, please let me know. And you can go ahead and privately chat me. And please remember, just a reminder, the chat is used for questions and responses, especially when I am discussing the lesson, please make sure you are being responsible. Make sure you are being respectful. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Hang on. So the title of these notes, make sure you put the date, is What is Geography? And I'm going to pull up my slides. Okay. So, hang on. Okay. What I did was I made sure that if you needed access to the book, I actually went ahead and made sure that it was on the first slide, that you can just click on the link and you can access the book. However, the slides that I will make for you in Google Classroom, I have not attached that yet, will have the information that you need to do your exercise. Now, it says the slideshow is to be used with your Ancient Civilizations textbook. So it is this textbook, okay? And if you click on this link, it'll take you right to the textbook. But just a quick reminder, you see how the first textbook that pops up, that's not our textbook. You see the list of the table of contents? This is not our book. Scroll down to the middle, here's our book, and right below, once you see our book, all the chapters and the sections are right here below it. So now going back to here, we are going to be talking about, in social studies, ancient civilizations. So civilizations are communities that existed in the ancient world, okay? So there are 4 learning targets, but today's learning target, we're really just focused on, and I'll highlight it. Sorry. Well, I guess I should have highlighted it before. Okay, so the first one is right here. And I can make it bigger. Nope. Okay. So it says, today we will learn what geography is so that I can understand that it pertains to history. I will know I've hit my learning target when I can explain how geography impacts history. Now, in social studies, we are studying history. We are learning about events. We are learning about people from different parts of the world, and geography is related to history, and it impacts history. Now, why are we doing this? So that knowing how to use the tools of geography prepares you for our modern society. Remember that video that we watched, Why Study History? Well, that, hang on a second. That video talked about probably more than 10 reasons why we study history. And this last sentence in the why says, for you, let's see, the tools of geography prepares you for our modern society. We learn from our past about how we can do better in our modern society, what things can be improved, what things need to change. And so I want you to keep that in mind, because that first video that we watched about why study history is associated with the why of our learning target. Okay. Does anyone have any questions for me at this point about the learning targets? Okay. So now what I did was, this is a reference book. It is actually in your textbook. However, my understanding is you cannot access this in your textbook through here. So what I did was, and this slide will be shared with you in Google Classroom. All you have to do is click on Geography Handbook. And what it does is, sorry, I have 2 screens that I'm going back and forth on. So once you open that link, it takes you right to the pages, and it tells you what this handbook is used for? It is a resource. A resource is something that will help you in case you need to look something up. Okay. So the first thing it talks about is, how do I study geography? It talks about the 6 essential elements. It names them individually. I'm not going to go through these. You can look through them yourself at your own time. It talks about the 5 themes of geography, which we will talk about today. Okay. So, sorry. So, and then the next page says, how do I use maps and globes? And this is something we will discuss at a later time, not today. It is going to be for this whole series of geography that we will be talking about. So you guys can look through this handbook. And then we're going to be talking about a little bit, discussing latitude and longitude. And those are the lines on a globe. And we'll come back to it and I will discuss it in depth a little bit more. But from globes to maps. Now, the difference between globes and maps, globe is 3D. Maps are usually flat. Okay? And then it just kind of, you guys can go through and look at this. Types of maps. So this is actually a resourceful reference that you guys can always use. It's just not part of the textbook, online textbook, I should say. Okay, so what is geography? Well, the definition is the study of Earth's physical features. So physical features are landforms such as mountains, valleys, plains, plateaus, and deserts. So what I would like for you to do right now is, you see how our title is What is Geography? Let's put the definition. So let's put what it says right here, the study of, let's keep it simple. I'm going to put the study of Earth, and you can put in parentheses landforms, and I will talk about what those are at a later time. And then you're going to put and humans. Let's keep it simple. This is basically what I wrote down.
Again, please?
I'm sorry, can you say that again?
Can you say that then to write again?
Yes. And if you look at, if you can see my notebook, it's basically the study of Earth. And then if you can see in parentheses, I put landforms. And then I put and human. Let's just keep it simple.
Mrs. Bolig?
Yeah.
We can't really see your handwriting since you're showing the screen. We can't
Yeah, that's the only thing, because I don't have the camera. I'm really sorry. Hang on a second, okay? Let me just, if you just look at the screen right here, the slide, all you have to do is, I just want you to write the study of Earth and humans. Let's just keep it simple for now. So, what I'm going to have, how many people still need a minute to write this down? Yes, Abraham. Do you have a question, Abraham? Your hand was raised. We're just keeping it simple.
I haven't write in 6 months, so my handwriting is so bad.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as you can jot down this simple, and I'm not grading you on your handwriting. I just want you to be able to write down this important information. Okay. So it's okay that you're still writing. What I'm going to do is, at the end of class, I will take a picture of my notes and I will actually upload it into Seesaw. Okay. So moving on to the next thing. I want to discuss right underneath humans. So when we're talking about humans, we're talking about how the populations are distributed. So A, distribution of populations. Resources, B, resources are things that are part of that particular country or land, and what are they getting in their land that they can use. Those are resources. Land use, how are they using their land? Are they using it for farming? Are they using it for oil? So these are things that we're going to be discussing more and finding and learning about the humans in each area. Okay, industries. We're talking about industries like the lumber industry. Are they in an area where they have a lot of access or not? Well, access and a lot of trees that they can use as cut down for wood, for the wood industry. Okay. So, any questions right now about what we just talked about? Hold on, I just need to take a look over here. Okay. So, we're going to be talking about themes of geography. These are just sample work that I found from students. And the 5 themes of geography are location, place, region, movement, human and environment interaction. So these sample work from students basically. Abriella, can you not do that, please? It's very distracting. Thank you. At some point, I may have you guys do this where you illustrate a picture for each of the themes. Okay. Now, these are the 5 themes. The first one is place, which is the same as location. Oh, location's right here. Okay. So interaction, place, movement, region, and I think the only difference is that they changed it to, oh, it is place. Okay. So it's the same thing. I just want to make sure that it's the same. Okay. So for place, you see that it's the physical characteristics, like the landforms that I was talking about, water, buildings, okay? Movement is transport of goods and services. Location is the longitude and the latitude and how it relates to a certain location. It's basically talking about where it's located on a globe. And every location has actually a latitude and longitude degree. It's a number that's related to it. Okay. Region. What does the area look like? An interaction. How do we affect? How do we affect? It should be A. Affect the land and its effects on us. So there's this interaction between humans and the land, and how do they affect each other? Okay. So let's go ahead, and the next thing I would like for you guys to write down is the 5 themes of geography. So I'm going to write number 2, the 5 themes of geography are location, place, region, movement, and I'm going to put for interaction, I'm going to put human and environment interaction, and I will show you my notes. So, sorry. So you're going to write the 5 themes of geography are, and you're going to list, you can either list them or separate them by commas. I'm going to give you guys a minute. After we actually take the notes down, I'm actually going to show you a brain pop video on the 5 themes of geography. Okay. So we're going to keep it simple. The notes, we're going to keep it simple so that you guys, when you guys go back to it and refer to it, it's easy to understand. I don't want to get too complicated because sometimes when you write things down that contains too many words and the sentences are too long, you get kind of lost. So let's just keep it simple. And for future, what I'm going to do is, again, I will have the doc cam set up so that you guys can see what my notes look like.
Very well.
I can't see what you wrote.
Okay. So if you look on the presentation, those are the 5 themes of, let's go back here. So themes of geography, that's the title, right? Those are the 5 themes.
Yeah, I can't see that.
You mean the screen or my notebook?
Oh, notebook.
It's the same thing that you're seeing on your screen.
Yeah, I couldn't see.
Okay. Well, just do the best you can. Like I said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a picture of my notes and I will upload it into Seesaw for period 2. So just do the best you can for now, and then if you need to okay.
Yeah.
You need glasses?
No, I just don't. You can't see it.
You know what? Miss M is also probably taking the notes down, and she can share those notes with you if you need it. Okay? Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move on. And if you didn't get all of this down, it's okay. Again, I will make sure that I take a picture of this, and I will post it in Seesaw for period 2 so that you guys, if you missed anything, you can go back and refer to that. Okay, let's go ahead and start. Does anyone have any questions at this point? Anything that I need to clarify for you? Oh, I like that. You drew the map of the 5 themes of geography. Good job. So you can actually arrange it however you want to on your notes because they're your notes. So you want to do it in a way that actually makes sense to you. Yes, Nick. Go ahead, Nick. Perfect, Daniela. I think you're frozen, Nick. Why don't you go ahead and put your question into the chat?
Can you put the picture of your map? Or can you put your notes on Seesaw?
Yeah, but we don't have to do it right now. We're going to do it at the end once all the notes that we need to take for today are on your notebook. Okay? Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and start the video. So themes of geography. Basically, what this video is going to discuss is what we just talked about, but it gives you a little bit more detail and it's a little bit more entertaining. So here we go.
Tim and Moby. I need to write a paper on geography. What should I talk about? From Evany. Studying the geography of a place will tell you about its landscape and where it's located, but also about the people who live there and the relationship between those people and their environment. Well, take the United States, for example. It's a big country, and the geography really varies, but we can talk about some major characteristics. So, where is it? Of course, we're talking about location. The U.S. is part of North America in the Western Hemisphere and in the Northern Hemisphere. Right, the equator divides the Northern and Southern Hemispheres. Talk about a particular region. In geography, a region is just an area that shares some characteristic with another area. let's say you live in the New York tri-state region. Even though there are tons of different locations and people in that area, it still has a lot of things in common, like roadways, language, TV and radio stations, sports teams, weather, and so on. Specific or pretty vague, and an area can belong to more than one region. Like living in the New York tri-state region, you also live in the larger American East Coast region, as well as the temperate zone, which is larger still. By the way, region can also be cultural. For instance, you can talk about the Muslim world to talk about the region of the world where Islam is the main religion. Another thing to know about your geography is, what's it like here? Lots of factors figure into a sense of place. The language is mainly English, but it also has some Spanish and a mix of other languages from around the world. People are a mix of immigrants just about everywhere. The architecture and buildings are quite varied in style and age. The more specific you get about location and region, the more you can tell about the place. Take, for example, New York City. It's located at about 40 degrees north latitude and about 74 degrees
All cookies when they get soggy, they sink.
It's really not all that big an area.
What is
So, city
variable?
planners had to build
Well, you can see that the chips ahoy milk is starting to become a little bit dark.
Look about your observations, write those down. Variable.
Oreo survived.
Other countries such as Italy,
I'm gonna leave all of
China,
them in the milk
Poland,
for like a
and
minute
others.
and see if they survive it. We already have one carrying the TV lost some chips
Place
away.
to place in search of a better life.
Variables are the things in the experiment that we affected the result. So the variables are the cookie, the milk, and the amount of milk.
Oh, sure. Also things like growing crops, burning fossil fuels, building dams, and digging wells. These are all ways that we interact with our environment.
Yeah. We're absorbing the
There
comments
are
and the
always
chips
positive
are
ways.
already
So, when you talk about the geography of a place, you want to explore the location. Where is it? The place. What is the area like? What's particular about the landscape, climate, and people who live there? Region. What physical or cultural grouping does an area belong to? Movement. How did people get there? Why would you want to move there or move away from there? And humans in the environment. How does the environment affect the people who live there? What do people do? How have they changed the landscape? Those are just some starter questions to consider when you're thinking about geography and what makes places unique. It's all interconnected. Understanding the geography of a place can help you understand its weather, its culture, and its history. Great
just
point.
about a minute.
Okay, sorry you guys, that was really glitchy. When I actually saw it yesterday and I previewed it, it wasn't like this, so I apologize for that. So I know some of you guys have asked me in the
Right.
chat.
What's up? It's
Hang
Mr.
on.
McCluskey.
So, I know that several of you had said that it was hard to listen, to hear it. Yes, and again, it's because I don't know what happened with the sound. So I know some of you guys had asked about the notebook. Yes, I will be putting my notebook in Seesaw at the end of class so that you guys can refer back to what has been written down. So what I'm going to do right now is I would like to give you guys a 5-minute break. So you're going to come back in 5 minutes, and Kaylee, I'm going to set it on my timer so that you guys know. So go ahead and take your break. And if you have any questions for me, and you don't need to get up from your seat, you can ask me, or if you want me to clarify anything, let me set my timer. Okay, 5 minutes. Go ahead, and you're going to come back at let's see, 52, so 5 minutes, 57 at 9:57. So go ahead and take a break. Go get a drink of water, get a snack, go to the restroom if you need to. I'm going to go ahead and leave the chat on if you would like to just have a quick chat with your classmates. Please make sure you are being responsible and respectful and appropriate. Okay? Yes, Miss M. Let me see. I'm gonna go ahead and post Miss M's notes. Miss M, I'm gonna go ahead and allow you to share your screen, and that way we can leave it up for the 5 minutes for the kids that would like to pop it down. So I'm gonna go ahead and let me go ahead and allow you to screen share. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, let me see. Yes, you can. Just make sure you keep it appropriate. Okay. Okay. So Miss M, I just gave you access to share your screen, so you could go ahead and click if you want to share your screen. I think you can probably. Do you know how to snap a picture of your screen? So Leo, I know you want to chit chat over the Zoom. The only thing is, Miss M and I are trying to do this thing. So can you just use the chat for now? Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Not during the time we were watching. There was one thing and two floats. The chocolate chip thing, the sugar floated, and the Oreo floated. So why do you think they did that? Why do you think the one that didn't like us? What is observation? So that's just observation. You know, like what was happening with the experiments. So like what happened to the cookies? Yeah, during the cookie dough, what happened to them? How quickly did they sink? Did it look like they were getting soggy? What happened to them? Soggy is a good one. Good adjective. I'm seeing some great stuff in the chat. Yeah, simple analysis. You're just writing down what happened to each cookie. We're watching the experiment. Cookie 1, which is chocolate chip. It sounds like almost right away. Cookie 2 loaded and cookie 3 loaded. So, right about why we did it. Are there any questions right now?
I put that one of them sank, the other one sank, and the other one didn't sink.
And then just write down why you think we diddled it. And when everyone is done with that section, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, so just for a review of the experiment. The chocolate chip, same. The sugar cookie managed to stay afloat. The Oreo managed to stay afloat. So why do you think we had these results? That's what you're doing in the analysis. So under the analysis section, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, Adrian, thank you, Chris.
Sorry, what was your analysis?
For the analysis, we're just writing down what happened to each cookie and why we think it happened.
Okay.
I love some of these, comments. They're getting really detailed. Talking about the ingredients of the cookie. Make sure you get some of that into your
There's
notes.
a problem here. It says here, there's cookie 2 float, and then the next one says there's cookie 2 float.
Listen to me. Available paper. You got me. It's supposed to
You
be.
did that on purpose?
No, I forgot.
Let's fix
Mistakes happen. So the bottom one.
You guys, time is up for your break. So I'm gonna have everybody come back, and please turn on your cameras so I can see all your lovely faces. Again, if you guys would like, if you guys didn't get down all your notes, it's okay. I will include it and put it in Seesaw for you guys. Miss M is sharing her screen right now of her.
Why do you think that?
Okay, we're going to come back to class. So I need everyone's attention.
Just like the sugar soda and diet
Okay, so this is what Miss
has a lot to do with the
M shared. The notes that you should have on your screen, on your notebook. It's not very, okay. So, what is geography? The study of Earth and humans, and the 5 themes of geography are location. And we didn't actually write down the specifics of what each of those themes are. We will do that at a later time, but this is what it should look like. And what I'm going to do is I will go ahead and make sure that you guys will have your a copy of these notes in Seesaw. Okay, so we're actually going to move on to the next activity. And thank you, Miss M, for sharing your screen. I am going to have you guys do an activity.
Do we post our notes that we had on Seesaw?
Not yet. Not yet until the end of class. Okay? We're not doing it yet, so don't, class is not over yet, right? So we want to make sure we have all the notes that is from this lesson for today before you do that, okay? And you can even do it later today. It's not a big deal. But I would like to get that posted at some point by the end of today. Okay, now, this is the activity I would like for you to do. I'm going to share my screen. And, oh, and I forgot to put it in the slide. But this is your task. Hold on, let me go back. So, what you're going to do is, I don't know why that doesn't pop up. Hang on. Let me go and do this really quickly. Update it, refresh it. It's not the thing that I need you guys to see is not. Okay, there it is. Here it is. Okay.
Okay, so right about that. Your hypothesis would be correct.
So the task that you have, and you have 3 minutes to do this. It says instructions for the geography theme of location. Either look out a window where you are or go outside, and you're going to tell me one thing you see. You can put it in the chat privately to me and make sure you enter it in the answer below. So what you're going to do is you can also write it in your notebook. You can write student task, one thing I see is. So go ahead and do that. You have 3 minutes to do that. So I'm going to set the timer. You're going to explore this geography theme of location. You're going to either look out your window or go outside for a minute, come back, and you're going to write down in the chat, and I will make sure that I will have the chat available for you guys to enter that information. Tell me one thing you see. Tell me one thing you see. Okay. Timer's on for 3 minutes. Go ahead and do that.
If you don't have the variables spelled out, everyone just call it the view. You can scroll back up. If you don't have variables spelled out,
tree. Okay. Yes. We are just focused on right now the geography theme of location. So that's why I'm going to ask you guys. That's why I'm asking you guys to do this activity. Okay. Someone said plants. Someone said the blue sky, a blue car, red car. You see lots of trees, a cat, red flowers, sky, grass, squirrel, bush. Okay, perfect. Grass. A screen, like a screen door, like a screen on a window, Leo? Okay, we're talking about location. We're not talking about, remember I said look out a window or go outside, not in your house. Okay, good job. Same thing with you, Jake. Is your dog outside? Okay, doors, okay. Perfect. Thank you, you guys. Don't forget to write it on your notes. So you're going to put one thing I see is, and then you're going to write down what that one thing is in your notebook. So right now, you just explored the theme of geography of location. So great job, you guys. I see that you guys have taken on this, completed this task. Good job. So let's go ahead and move on.
Okay, so I'm glad you vegan. So variable is something that will affect the outcome of the experiment.
Now, we're going to look at this slide, and basically for each of these themes, these are the questions that that particular theme addresses. So when we're talking about location, that was the first one, and this is the one that I had you guys do the activity on right now, right? Okay. Jennifer, are you having a hard time hearing me? You said it's glitchy. Okay, well, let me know if you need to turn off your computer, turn it back on, you can do that. Okay? So, location, where is it? What is its absolute location and what is its relative location? So, absolute means the longitude and the latitude. Relative is like, oh, it is in San Jose. It is north of Hamilton Avenue. It is, so you're talking about direction, right? So location, that's what we're talking about. With all these delivery people, right? And apps for DoorDash, for people that drive Uber, right? They have to look on their GPS on their phone, and usually they have to look on the map and it tells you go right, go left. But those directions can also be your direction in terms of like east, west, south, and north. Okay, so relative location, that's what it's talking about. For place, for the theme of place, what is it like there? So the questions this theme addresses is, what are the natural characteristics? So let's just say we are in California, but we are in Northern California. What are its natural characteristics? Well, what are some things that we see here that may be different down in Southern California? What are its human characteristics? So the people that live in that place, what are some of their characteristics? What are the natural characteristics? So I'm trying to think of, because I'm originally from Southern California, so I know that the weather there is a lot drier and warmer and hotter, and the weather here in the Bay Area is cooler, and the temperature degrees are a little bit lower than what I'm used to. And when I first moved up here, I remember it being colder than Southern California. So these are the types of natural characteristics that we're talking about. Weather is one of them. Human characteristics. How are the people that live there? What are their characteristics? So those types of things, like people are more laid back. What I heard is people are more laid back up here than in Southern California. So that could be a human characteristic. Okay, so that is talking about place. So for now, what I would like to do is find out if anyone has any questions about what we're discussing. Is there anyone that needs me to clarify anything for them? I know it's a lot of information. I understand that it's a lot of information. So just bear with me. And we're not going to learn it all today. We're not all going to learn it today. Okay? Okay. So I just want to take a quick temperature check with everybody. Can you guys either put it in the chat with a little symbol, or you can show me on camera how you are feeling about what we are discussing and today's lesson so far. You feel good and confident? Are you feeling like, okay, I get some of it, but I'm still a little bit confused, or I really don't understand? So you can either put it in the chat with either a happy face, sad face, a meh face, or you can just do thumbs up, thumbs down, or you can just show me the camera. Either way, whatever you're comfortable with. Okay. Okay. Sam gave me a rating. Okay, that's good. Okay. Let's see. So going back to this, I don't understand Nick, but okay. Okay. So we might not get through everything today in the theme. We do still have about 11 more minutes, and what I'm gonna probably have you guys do as an exit ticket the last 5 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you after I talk about this. Okay. Okay. So moving on. Does anyone have any questions about location and place? Is there anyone that has any questions about location and place? The first two themes that we talked about of geography. So I'm going to go ahead and move on. Okay, I just need to check chat. Okay. Good. So the next one is the one where we're talking about human and environment interaction. How do humans interact with the environment, and how does the environment affect the humans living in that space? So the questions that this theme of geography addresses are: how do people interact with the environment? How have people used the environment? Have people been taking advantage and basically treating their environment poorly? And think about the effects when people, how people treat their environment. What effects does it have? There's positive and negative. How have people adapted to the environment? Adapt means that you change to fit into the environment that you are in. Okay. So for me, moving from Southern California to Northern California, I had to adapt to this new environment, this new place that I'm not used to. And usually it takes some time before you get used to the new environment. So that's what adapt means. How have people modified or changed the environment? So, yes, Kermit, you were talking about global warming. Yes, all of these things actually do have an impact on global warming. However, that's part of science. So Mr. Lim will be probably talking to you guys about that piece. Okay. Yes.
I bet Mr. Lim's going to show us Reggie the sign.
What is he going to show you? I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
The science guy.
Okay, yeah. He's
every kid's nightmare.
Well,
Not every kid's
Well,
nightmare.
mine at least.
okay. So let's return to our discussion over here. Okay. Those are great ideas, but we can discuss it at a later time. So then it says, how have people modified or changed the environment? With people living in their environment, they use the resources, they use the land, and sometimes what can happen is, Sam, let's stay focused, please. Thank you. So how has it affected the land, and what has happened? So if you think about the fires that we've had in the last month, what has it done to our environment? Think about that. What has it done to our environment? It has too much smoke. Yes, go ahead, Abraham. You had your hand raised. Go ahead. And
The air.
Go ahead.
The air.
Yep, the air.
Smoking like ashes. And breathe.
Right. The air is really, really poor quality, and it is actually somewhat hazardous to a lot of people, right? What are some other effects of the fires that's happened in the last month? Sam, did you have your hand raised? Okay. It has decimated our forests, right? Where does paper come from? From trees.
Yeah.
And trees are resources that is part of what we use. So human interaction and natural disasters, which is what we call, the forest fires, even though in some cases they were actually started by arsonists. And so that affects the environment. It actually modified and changed the environment. So these are the questions that human and environment interaction addresses. Moving on to movement. The fourth theme of geography. How is a place connected to other places? How and why people, goods, and ideas move in and out of the place. So I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Northern California, Bay Area, is known for its technology, where technology is born, where Apple started from. And so this is what the Bay Area is known for. It says how and why people, goods, and ideas moved in and out of the place. There was a big boom. They called it the tech boom, or the .com boom back. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Ben. Is it back in the 80s or 90s or 2000s?
90s saw a lot of it, but 80s too.
Okay, so it kind of began in the 80s, but it actually took off in the 90s. So then the Bay Area, the place that you guys live in, is now really, people know, oh, you're talking about the Bay Area where Apple is, where Google is. People know, oh, that's where you're from. Oh, that's where you live. So people associate these things, these goods, these ideas to a particular area. So it wasn't always like this. And so it actually addresses this question, shows you what movement is like. People, a group of individuals moving to another area, and it affects and influences that area. Okay. And the last one, regions. When we're talking about regions, we're talking about how might common geographic characteristics help us understand this place. So let's take California, for instance. And California is on the west coast of the United States. This is a region. We live on the west coast. New York, Washington, D.C., Boston, they're all on the eastern part of the United States. That's another region. Now, usually you will hear about regions, especially when you listen to the weather, right? When it is national news, which is national means the entire country of the United States. They will say, oh, right now, what's going on? There is a storm called Sally, right? And it is going through, I believe, the southern eastern part of the country and southern middle part of the country, in Pensacola, and which is Florida. What's the other spot, Mr. Ben? Is it Alabama?
I'm not actually sure.
Yeah, so basically that's a region, right? So the Storm Sally is actually hurricane, they're calling it Storm Sally or Hurricane Sally, and is blowing through the southeast. Southeast is where Florida is. It's still on the East Coast, but it's further down in the United States. So when we're talking about regions, that's what we're talking about. It says, how can the place be divided into regions? To what regions does the place belong? So we live on the East Coast, but are we on the northern part or the southern part. California is in the southern part of the East Coast. Now, if we're talking about where San Jose is, this is where we all live. San Jose, in relation to California, is the Northern California. North means higher. When I say Southern California, where I'm from, I'm talking about Los Angeles. It's further down on the map when you look at a map of California. So this is what we're talking about, regions, okay? It could be as small as we're talking about Southern California, we can talk about Northern California, or we can be talking about the whole West Coast, which includes Washington, which includes Oregon, California, or we're talking about a bigger region on the East Coast, New York, Boston, Washington, D.C., Maryland, all there. So,
Bolig.
yes. Does someone have a question?
Yes.
Yes. What is your question, David?
I would like to, but like, can I see the first one about the hurricane?
Yes.
So, is the hurricane, is it named Sally?
Yes, it is named Sally.
Oh my god! I was watching a YouTube video and I thought it was the name Sally. I thought it was made up, but I guess it was.
So it's happening right now. So
Surge.
yes, that is the name of the hurricane. So
is it really that dangerous? How?
I haven't actually watched the news this morning about that, so I'm not sure because the information is constantly changing and updating. So that you're probably gonna have to check on your own. But,
The question is there going to be science camp?
that I'm not sure. However, I think it's probably a no. But maybe Mr. Ben, can you chime in on that? Do you know anything about that?
Sadly, it's canceled for this year.
Okay, David. So Mr. Ben said, sadly, it is canceled for this year.
Can we go next year if we couldn't this year?
We don't know. Is that correct, Mr. Ben?
Based off of what I've heard so far, the students that would have gone this year for 6th grade are going to miss it. And instead, it's going to be posted in 7th grade if we do go back to in the classroom and to being not COVID.
Okay.
Yay! Next year we're gonna have it. So probably next year.
Okay. So what I'm going to have you guys do, thank you. It is the end of class. So the one last thing I would like for you to do, and you're going to write it in your notebook. I would like for you to name 1 to 2 themes of geography on your notebook before you snap a picture of your notebook to upload it in Seesaw for period 2 social studies.
I didn't hear you. It's glitching out. Would you say again? Sorry.
Yes, I would like for you to name 1 or 2 themes of geography, the 5 things that we just talked about: location, place, human, environment, interaction, movement, and regions. You're going to write one of those, name one of them, and you're going to write it in your notebook. And then what you're going to do is you're going to snap a picture of your notebook and you're going to upload it into Seesaw for period 2. Okay. Now, I know that today this is a lot of information unpacked. So just kind of let the information absorb. We will come back to talking further and reviewing the 5 themes of geography. And then next week we're going to be we are going to be looking at the world map. And again, I will go ahead and add the slides that we looked at today into Google Classroom for you guys. I'm not going to post any assignments that is going to be due. I don't want you to work on it over the weekend or worry about it over the weekend. I will post it for Tuesday, and you guys can access that. And I will make sure that I put an appropriate due date that will give you guys enough time to complete the assignments. Okay?
Miss Bolig?
Yes. Can you say that again, Leo? I didn't hear you.
So the due date that you were talking about right now for Friday,
Yeah. Mm-hmm. sure that you get it done by the end of today for your notebook.
Can we leave?
Yes. Anybody else? If you don't have any questions for me, you are. Hang on, Leo. For those of you that don't have any questions for me, you guys can go ahead and sign off. Have a great weekend, and I will see you on Monday. For those of you that do have questions for me, you can go ahead and stay on. So, Leo, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't hear what you were saying.
I was gonna ask if you could leave it on, but it's fine.
If you can.
Leave it on. Like leave it.
Oh, so I need to meet with Mr. Ben, so I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm sorry. Okay, Kermit, what is your question?
Are you gonna post something on Seesaw where we can do our thing? Okay, thanks.
I will, but it probably because we're going to have PE next, and then I'm going to have sixth period. I won't be able to do until later today. So that's why I'm allowing all students to post their picture of their notebook later on today. You can probably do it at midnight or tomorrow, but as long as it's done over the weekend, it's fine. Okay. Okay. Anybody else have any questions for me?
What class on? Is he?
Period 2 for social studies. I'll go ahead and post a copy of my note there. Okay. Nicholas, did you have any more questions for me?
On period 2 in Seesaw?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's in period 2.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Okay, so June, Leon, Abby, and Allie, if you guys don't have any questions for me, you guys are welcome to sign off. And Derrickson, and thank you, Miss M, for sharing your notes with us. Is there any way that you can send it to me? Can you email what you have and like screenshot it to me? Is that okay? Thank you. Do you know my email? Okay. Thank you so much. Have a good weekend. Thank you. Hang on, Mr. Ben. I have a student from my 6th period class trying to join my Zoom right now. Hold on. Hola, Heidi. Esta no clase. Okay, hold on a second. I don't know what's going on here.
It's all good.
Okay, well. One second. I don't know what this is. Okay, well. So I am like I said to the class. I'm waiting for that little piece for the doc cam.
Mm-hmm.
So I just made do with what we got for now.
How you feeling?
I'm feeling okay, but I just feel like there's just so much information to unpack, and I'm trying to keep in mind of how it's so much for the students to be engaged the entire 70 minutes. And so I think what I need to do is somehow in there, I have to include more of those activities where, they step out or look out the window and then come back.
Mm-hmm.
Something of that sort to kind of break it up a little bit.
That was definitely good. That was a good activity.
Something like that where they're not just sitting there listening to me talk the entire time. And that's why I like including videos. And it's I didn't realize that the video was going to be glitchy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but I really like Brain Pop.
Me too.
And so, yeah, when I watched it last night, it didn't happen.
Yeah. Well, so the glitchiness is because it's over Zoom and it's their internet connection, right?
Is that what it is?
So it's not because of school. They're now doing two things. They're doing Zoom, which is taking bandwidth, and then they're trying to watch a video over Zoom through your screen. So that's even more bandwidth that it's taking.
So Does it happen to you when you are using it through Nearpod?
So there are some ways around that. So Nearpod has a way to do that, which is allow students to watch it on their own device.
Okay.
So
Why? While I
I
so I don't
can turn off screencast, right? So I don't have to show my
Okay.
screen, and I can let them watch it.
got it.
Only issue with that is I can't monitor what they're doing,
Okay.
except using like Go Guardian or something.
Right. And I was trying to go back and forth to Go Guardian to kind of see,
Mm-hmm.
but I was trying to manage the chat with the kids. The kind of that's why I was trying to think of ways, because I'm not using Nearpod for this lesson,
Mm-hmm.
that having them write notes is one way, and then having them participate in that activity. So these are the minor things that I've included in today's lesson, just so
Mhm.
that I can kind of have a little more student engagement. But I think I need to include more of those small student tasks within the lesson.
So I think really, really, truly, and something I brought up to Jen last night.
Yeah.
I want to sit down with all of us and we all plan a lesson in Nearpod together.
I think that's a great idea.
And we focus on specifically student engagement, because honestly I have self-interest in you. But for the most part, making sure that we are not the talking heads in front of the
Right.
screen. Because for me, I can only do about like 20 minutes of lecture before I start, zoning out or doing other things. So I have strategies as an adult to cope with how to deal with that. You gave a good break time, and that does help. You gave.
And I wanted to give them another 5-minute break, but then I forgot about it, and then I just kind of.
So you have a little bit of a epidemic going on with students in chat. So they're now spreading the word that Discord is an available app to be able to use. And so they're I mean, it's basically they're talking behind the class's back,
Right.
in this other program, because they don't have an outlet in class to talk.
Right. I mean, today there was a little bit more kids wanting to share.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you had a couple of students I wrote in my notes that even asked in chat and were raising hands to share. A lot of them weren't called on though too.
Okay.
So that's another way to kind of engage them if they're trying to reach out. They got really interested at one moment when talking about global warming and climate change.
Right.
And they brought up Bill Nye the Science Guy, and there was almost a debate there. And
so at that point, would you have just allow them to have some kind of debate, or have that discussion about what they wanted to talk about?
Like what would I do personally in that situation?
Yeah, and the reason why I guess I didn't really talk about it too much, because that's more concentrated in science, right? And I'm not teaching science.
So you're teaching the discipline that integrates all other disciplines, though. You're teaching social studies, which is the study of social interactions, right?
Yeah.
And so that does include science. It includes math. It includes language arts as well. It really is the discourse where you can have everything in it, as it is kind of history. It's what happened before and what people do to, kind of, looking at those themes. His prior knowledge was active when he saw, hey, human interactions with environment. And there was a point where you could have said, okay, so I see this, and I know Mr. Lim is going to teach you more about this.
Okay.
But just to make that connection here,
Okay.
and to help you with that connection. And I think
So this is the one thing that I would have talked about it, but last week or earlier in the week when I was we as in like me, Jen, and Lisa were looking at the social studies slides, and we were kind of like we were putting our input into it, and I had in that original slide where it says what is geography, and then I put the study of, and I actually had the atmosphere in there.
Yeah.
And Jen had said, well, that's science. So then I said, okay, well then let's just take it out and keep it simple and just focus on social studies. But I originally did have that in there. And so along that line, what I did was when the kids brought it up, I guess I just said, okay, well, that's science.
I think
of what happened with that planning piece.
Right. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing it more clearly. I think for when we get stuck in teaching disciplines, we stop thinking about the whole child a lot, and we start thinking more about, hey, there's this discipline that I'm trying to focus on, and you had components that you wanted to make sure that they were exposed to today. That was your goal.
Right.
But I think the bigger picture is missed when we do that. And the bigger picture is that they're trying to make connections from their prior knowledge, which was the standard that you're focused on. Right.
Right. And I actually have talked about global warming in my 7th grade social studies class last year. Even though I knew they had science, but I think I was influenced by what Jen had said when we were working on those slides. And her main thing was like, let's just keep it simple for the 6th graders because it's going to be way too much if we add the word atmosphere in there and keep it in there. But she's like, if you want to use it, that's fine. I said, no, we can simplify it. So that's kind of why I went down the path that I did.
I think as far as you could take another route with it. There's the route of socio-political that you could take with it, as it is part of social studies, and it is a major issue that we're currently faced. We have a president right now that is a climate change denier and actually a science denier. And so there's opportunities there to kind of engage in ethics or engage in what they think is right or wrong, and you can get some real buy-in and discussions with that. Which, is not going to be something Mr. Lim is going to cover, because that's not really that pushes a little bit further or deeper into the topic. His discussion is more going to be about the science behind it, about its effect, our human impact on our environment, and what we're doing to try to protect it, or what we're doing to screw it up. That's going to be our focus, because that's what STEM scopes our curriculum as. So you can be the other side, you can be the socio-political side. And with that, you have to tread a line, right? You can't bring opinions into it. You have to show both sides.
Right.
You have to give them opportunities to think for themselves.
I might touch on that piece where, yes, our president is a science denier and global warming denier. But I tend to stay away from politics as best I can, because I don't know if their parents, how that information or the things that I have discussed in the class would be interpreted and repeated and then possibly misconstrued. So my general sense is to kind of not discuss that topic too much. I understand what you're talking about. Not my opinions, but just basically pointing out facts. But that can also be misconstrued by students as, oh, that's the teacher's opinion. right? I mean, if say they have parents that are Trump supporters, right?
Sure.
And for me to say, oh, well, Trump is a science denier, and he is, even though it is fact,
Mm-hmm.
for the kids that come from a home whose parents may be Trump supporters, I'd say, why is this teacher talking about this? So there's that fine line that I just don't necessarily feel all that comfortable.
And you have to do what's comfortable to you. The only and I got to get to class, and I know you do too.
Yeah,
but
me too.
but the only thing to leave you to think about is, if they don't learn to think critically in class, where are they learning to think critically?
Right. And this is the thing. I'm not saying that I don't want to touch on those subjects. I will,
Mhm.
but I'm just very careful with that aspect of.
And I've been through trainings too to touch on those, and how to, try to show things that are unbiased, or how to show different, you can use video clips to be able to do it and things like that. And there is a lot of fine line stuff. And so if you don't feel comfortable, of course, don't do it. But the two things I would say that we need to work on, as far as the lesson wise,
Yeah.
is we need to get students involved throughout the lesson with activities that they can do.
Okay.
And then the other piece was, we need to find a way to check for understanding that gives us data.
Yeah. And I think that piece won't happen until I start using Nearpod.
Maybe. There might be other ways to do it, but yeah, Nearpod is a great way.
Okay.
But we gotta stop this idea of Discord too. And so maybe we can talk about how to use GoGuardian to limit that.
Okay.
Because you can start a session and ban them from using certain accounts or certain websites.
Right. And I have done that again. If I can manage how, like, giving them like an activity to do, and then having that time when they're doing the activity for me to go and take a quick look on GoGuardian to just monitor.
And you maybe can use your aide to help too.
Oh, okay. But she doesn't have access to GoGuardian.
You do.
She would.
You have access to. So you would have to, decide whether you wanted to give her access. Like, I have my student teacher and Miss Linda having access to my GoGuardian.
Okay.
So they can monitor.
Okay. So when they have access, does that mean that they sign in as you,
mm-hmm.
and then they have, so then you can be signed in three three devices.
Multiple.
They can close tabs
mm-hmm.
if necessary.
Yep.
Okay. I think I'm going to look into using Miss M as a resource for that.
Totally. Okay.
Okay. We'll resume this at 1:30. Is that correct? 1:30.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
Unless
can we do 2:00 just in case things?
2:00. I have the 5:04 meeting. So.
Okay, I'll try to make it at 1:30. I will try.
I mean, let's just say tentatively. If you can't, you can't.
Okay.
Thank you, Ben.
Yep.
Totally helps if I unmuted myself. Step 1, unmute. Okay, so that was the title. Don't know if anyone holds that. My bad. Yeah, awesome. Okay, a lot of you already. So, I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna give everyone a couple more minutes to trickle back in. I'm gonna see those videos on, and once I get everybody ready for stretching. I'm loving the energy right now. And a lot of people up and ready to go.
Oh God.
Alrighty. Is Mr. Bentley back? Yeah, he's gonna come back. I'm gonna give him a couple minutes to pop back in. Okay.
Wait for a few more people to trickle in. Oh, there it is. I'm so dead.
Why, hello. I love that Adon missed me. I missed you too, Adon.
Real sneaky. You just snuck back in. See how everyone's doing.
Yeah, so Mr. Lynn is back. That is your answer.
Alrighty, let's get some stretches going on. I do see some hands up. Is this from earlier from our lesson?
I believe so. I asked Joey and Blake if anyone had any questions or comments, and they didn't answer. So I think that's from before.
Cool. Okay. I'll just lower them then.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so let's do some stretching. We're just going to start off, and then I'll call in some people to help out. Can I please have cameras on? I know that's rough for some of us, especially if we woke up this morning kind of slowly. But please do have cameras on during this time, just for stretches and just for PE, so I can see all your beautiful faces. Thank you, Jesse. Thank you, Omar. Thanks, Upside Down and Inverted Connor. I like the inverted colors. That's cool.
I have to be careful because I'm in my deal's apartment.
Sure.
And his dog is very small, and I step on it and
So be extra especially careful, man.
Yeah, just do what you can.
My mom has a teacup too. I gotta be careful.
I can't jump.
Yeah. Totes. Thank you, Aurora. I appreciate you. I lost Fabian.
No, we lost him. I had to let him back in a couple times. I don't know. Oh no, there he is.
He's here, just no camera. There's Dylan's beautiful face. Look at that. It's gorgeous. All right, so we're gonna do some stretching. Let's have our arms. I'm waiting on Amir and Adrian and Andrea. Let's get going, please. Camera's on. Okay, I'm gonna reach my hands up and try not to hit my light. Holy cow. I'm going to reach up, stretch that back. Oh, yeah, make it feel stretched all the way. And now we're going to lower all the way to our toes, to our toes. Touch your toes if you can. If you can't, like me, just pretend that you are and cry a little bit inside. And then we'll slowly come up in 10, 9, breathe in, 8, hold that breath, 7, 6, roll those shoulders back, roll them back. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, all right, let's let our neck hang down. Chin to our chest. And now we're going to roll to the left. I'm going to roll to the left here. Have your elbow touching, have your shoulder touching your ear. Then looking up. Then roll to the right and back down, chin to chest. Now let's go to the right. We're going to go to the right here. Rolling our neck, be very gentle. All the way up to that ceiling. And back on down. Awesome. All right, let's be nice to our hands, yeah? We've been typing stuff. We've been holding on to stuff, so we're going to be nice to these guys. I'm going to take my fingers here. I'm going to put them in my palm and just push back. Not too hard. Don't want to hurt yourself. Just push and hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Get in that sweet spot where you feel resistance. 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh. Now push your palm and slowly massage your fingers in. Just like that. Just slowly massage them. Okay, switch hands. Fingers to palm. And push till you get a little bit of resistance. Not too hard. And 10, 9. If you feel like it's too hard, give a little bit away. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And massage that palm again into that fist. Just massage it. Oh, I felt a crack. Didn't mean to do that.
That's always fun.
Now I want you to roll that wrist. See, we got to do some self-care here. We don't do this enough, Roll that wrist. Now switch hands, roll the wrist. Okay, and now I want you on the floor, and I'm going to try to show this here. There we go. I want you to take your toe and roll your ankle. Roll
I've used
ankle.
exercise before. It feels good.
Feels fantastic. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those feet. Look at those feet. Some people got some amazing socks on. That's what's up. I have different color toe socks the other day, and I was really embarrassed. Okay, now.
There's the beautiful piggies doing their workouts.
Yeah, doing the workouts. Doing the left one here. Doing the left one here. Yep, there we go. Yeah, you don't look ridiculous, Adam. It's fine. Your mom doesn't care. See? She just walked away without even looking.
I never wear pair socks, like one color and the other one is another color.
All right, I'm going to have us do another one. Hold on, let me get my camera all stitched. There we go. Okay, your right arm, put it out like this. Cross your body. Pull in your elbow. We're going to hold this for 10 seconds. Ready? 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, stretch out. Let's switch. Pull in that elbow. 10, 9, 8. Breathe in. Make sure to breathe. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, I want some suggestions. Who's got suggestions of stuff we can do?
Flamingos.
All right, flamingos. Let's do flamingos. Okay, I'm going to get my feet ready again. Here we go. Flamingos. Okay. Okay, ready. You want to count it on?
Sure.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Working on that core.
8, 9, 10. Now your other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
I love seeing a Dylan jump around in a circle. That was adorable. Yeah, Diana, you're next. Thank you, Adon. I appreciate you.
The next one I'm gonna do is like it's kind of like flamingos, but instead you just hold a pose like this.
Sure. Okay.
But I was just
10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7,
Remember to breathe, you guys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The other leg. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you, Diana. And I love seeing Adam outside. Remember, like today is a great day to be outside. The weather is great. The air quality is great. So when you do your PE choice board, consider it. Are there any other suggestions that we have? Miss Linda, can you give us one?
Sorry about that.
No worries.
let's do, how about arm rolls?
Mm-hmm,
Get those joints moving.
Oh my. This one hurt the other day, I'm not going to lie.
We won't do as many. I did a lot this morning swimming, so I don't want to do too much of my rotator cuffs. Let's do 10.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The other one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Awesome. Miss Laura, you got one? I believe in you. You're muted, my friend.
You're muted.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing our arms like that. Okay. So arms like this. Oh, we're turning our. Okay. Oh yeah. All right, let's do 10 of these. 2, 3. Oh my gosh. 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep going. 8, 9, 10. Yes. All right. Thank you very much, you guys. I'm going to do us one more. You know which one I'm going to do, don't you? Who thinks they know?
Push-ups.
Yeah, you're right, boy. That's it. Let's go. Okay, so
Are you really gonna make us do push-ups?
totally. Let's do it.
Yeah, you had to play me last time.
Yeah. So here we go. All right, down on the floor. Ay, chihuahua. All right. Push-up position. Ready. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo!
That was way too quick.
You gotta keep up. What's going on? Whew. All right. I think I'm ready for my PE workouts today. You guys ready? Yeah. So I just want to share. I want to share my screen with you for a second, just to give you a look at what our PE choice board is. So again, for everyone, if you do go to PE, just here, you'll remember that you do have this one, the week right here. And here's your PE choice board slides. And if you go to present mode, you have a lot of choices that you're able to choose from here that you can find. So you got your burpees with our video here. Adorable video there. Yeah. Sidearm, our video here. Planks, walking lunges, dance. Make sure it's appropriate. Yeah, dance right there. Zumba. Oh man, I love Zumba. I did Zumba a couple years ago. That was fun.
Yeah, it was fun.
Mm-hmm. You get tired though, man.
Yeah,
you get tired. Yoga, some good yoga. Got her sister doing the yogas.
Mm-hmm.
Got the jumping jacks. Got another nice video here. The jumping jacks to watch your heart rate too. Especially the crunches. We all hate the crunches, but we gotta try them. The ball walls. Yeah, and this one is if you have a wall to be able to use it, and you don't have neighbors that will hate you.
Yeah.
That's a big one.
To watch the video of the planks, but
Yeah.
or other videos, and it says you need permission to watch it.
Seriously?
Really?
Let me see.
I couldn't watch it for some reason.
The whole video system is broken.
Oh yeah. Can all of you not access it? Easy. So you're just gonna come down on your
I can see it.
and then step up with your back legs, almost like you're doing a push-up. And then you just hold it.
Maybe it's because like we have restricted mode.
Maybe it's not shared with you guys, and if not, you kind of get the idea. I think you can figure it out there. I believe in you. So my expectation again, just for everybody to understand, I'm asking you to do for today and for last PE to have at least tried one of these activities. At least one.
Yeah, at least try them out.
Okay?
So do you have to do all the videos?
No.
No.
I'm asking you to at least try one. Every time we meet for PE, at least one from the choice board. If you got other stuff you want to do, that's cool. You just show evidence of that, and that's fine. And your evidence can even be your sentences for those ones. That's totally fine. But I really want you to try for today one of these activities, and you can do 1 to 3, right? So you can do 2 others that aren't on this choice board. If you want to go bike ride at them, or Diana, if you want to go on that machine of your mom's, that's cool.
Yeah, I think looks fun.
What's up, Adon?
So like what you're saying is I could like do planks and then I could like play basketball.
Totally. Absolutely, Adon.
Totally.
Yep. Yeah. But just remember that when you go to write your sentences, I want you to write about one of the things that you did. And if you're doing one of the choice board, I do want that evidence. So remember, I do want you to put that video in to show that, yeah, you did burpees, or yeah, you did crunches, right?
I have another question. What are key points? I don't understand that.
That's a great part. So if you remember looking here on how to perform,
Yeah.
and then you remember here on the actual task of what you did, give some key points about how you did it.
Oh, okay.
Because
last week I did like the underhand throw,
Sure.
overhand throw, and I put like how you like do it. You like
yeah, and that's fine. Like for when I did the overhand throw and threw them at the bottles, right? So I explained that, but the key points there, when I actually threw them, I only hit 3 out of my 5 bottles, and it took me 12 throws. That's a key point to talk about, right?
now I understand.
How far away from them were you?
I was actually pretty far. So I don't know if you remember, but I can show. So ignore my shoes that I just left in the hallway. Shh, they're not there. It's not shoes in the hallway. So I was here. I was at the desk, and I was throwing where the rug is. That was where the bottles were, and they were on a little table, like you see in the right there, the table there. So they were that far away. So decent 12 feet. 12 of my feet, not 12 of your feet. Yeah. So, anywho's. All right. So I'm going to put a 30-minute timer on. We're going to start in just a sec once I figure my life out and actually put a timer up. Yeah. Uh-huh. Sorry, people are private messaging me. I'm not just talking to myself. That would be weird. Yeah, I'm weird. That's right. People are still private messaging me. It's not my fault. All right, here we go. 30 minutes. Let's get working.
I'm gonna go biking, so adios.
Adios.
Pero que estás mandando emojis otra vez. Yo no estoy mandando emojis, es mi dog. Tengo la gente no está ciudadana, para todo eres bien perezosa. ¿Qué te vas a quedar como la Biblia?